My son Daniel was amazing. He was smart, outgoing, fun to be around. He just loved people.
The day of, we watched the Alabama-Auburn game, and then he went to his room. And an hour later, we got a call that we need to rush to the hospital. And I asked them for what, and they said, Danny. And so I asked my wife, where was Danny? And she said he went to take his girlfriend to the movies. And that's when reality hit.
The day after Thanksgiving in 2009, my son was killed by a drunk driver while sitting at a red light.
My dad was the most amazing man on the planet. He was the most giving person you'll ever meet. I've never met anybody like him. He was my hero. On January 13th, 2013, my dad suffered a massive brain bleed. Whenever my dad arrived at UAB in the ER, they told us then that my dad was more than likely brain dead, but that they would send him up to the NICU to do everything that they could. Once they gave the allowed amount of time to see, was something gonna change? That is when they finally came to us and said, we can't operate, there's nothing that we can do for your dad. And I'll never forget, the social worker came over. I said, I just want to hug my dad. I just want to hug him one last time. She dropped the bed rail and lowered the bed so I could hug my dad one last time. My dad never got to meet either one of my girls, and that is definitely the hardest part.
And I began to realize that I was having lower back problems. Then I got real sick one day, and I was like, hey, doc, what's going on? What's wrong? And it was like, your calcium has depleted, and all of your levels are out of whack. And it was like, you only have two choices, dialysis or die. We really didn't understand what dialysis was. After she dialyzed me, I said, man, I feel like I can go home now. She said, no, this is gonna be a part of your life, Anthony, unless you get a kidney. Dialysis works for the hours that you on dialysis, doing what your kidney do 24 hours a day. I couldn't work because nobody wants to hire somebody that has to dialyze 3 times a week, and it causes problems in every areas of your life. I couldn't be the husband that I wanted to be to her, and then the father to my children. You know, my child would want to play and do stuff like that, and I ain't had the energy to do it.
The night of the accident, when we first got to the hospital, they took us into this little room where they had the chaplain and someone from the organ center. And they just said that it's bad and that they were going to take us back to see him. We had 3 different doctors on different times, hours between, come in just to check to make sure. A person from the organ center was there, and she was very supportive. She respected our wishes that we wanted to wait, and she was there the whole time. And it happened about 8:30 at night, and she was there past 5 o'clock the next morning with us. And she waited patiently. Never once did they bother us about it. Very patient, very kind, and very caring. Even after the fact, called us to check on us. They just walked us through the whole process.
And then finally, they called me for the transplant. They said, Anthony, we have a kidney for you. You know, it's almost unreal. And tears are coming down my face because everything that happened up to this point, knowing that dialysis was going to actually cease. After the transplant, my energy just like skyrocketed. Yes, I'm ready to go back to work. But after being on dialysis, I realized how important it is for somebody to be a donor. And like the many times that I used to go down to the driver's license place, they asked me, did I want to be a donor? I would check no. But then I realized how important it is and how many lives it saves when you check yes. You know, you're not just saving one person, you're gonna save more than one person, because if what you have works, you're gonna save that person. It's an awesome gift to be able to do that, you know, just by checking a yes on a paper, how many lives you gonna save.
Anytime I have a bad day, I can walk outside and just think somebody at this very minute is playing with their kids outside or taking their kids to the park or enjoying their granddaughter's birthday, and that's all because of my dad. Through organ donation, my dad was able to give the gift of life to many people, but really I feel like my family was the one that got the true gift because it really helped us in the grieving process and was such a blessing to us.
I am proud of my son. He was alive. He was an example, and he helped people. He did that living, and then even in death, he still helped people. So, yeah, very proud of it. When you think that somebody's got a chance, that helps a lot. Someone can be helped.
I think it was 17 or 18 when he decided to become an organ donor. So I am very proud of him. No, we didn't want to lose him at 21, but we know he's in a better place. And other people are better because of him.
Well, my name is Carlton Young. I'm a kidney and pancreas transplant surgeon at the University of Alabama. I've been there for 18 years. Donation is extremely important. There are lots of people who have loved ones who have end-stage kidney disease that are on dialysis, or are diabetic, or have liver disease, or heart disease, or lung disease. In Alabama, we have a lot of diabetes and high blood pressure. And as a result, we have a disproportionate number of patients waiting for organs compared to the rest of the country. That's one reason why we are so careful with the organ donation process. When we have a deceased donor that's available, the Alabama Organ Center has a specific team that goes and speaks to the family. Those folks that go out and retrieve the organs have nothing to do with the team that asks. So there's no influence of the retrieval team on the people that are asking. And we think that's the best way to make this happen. So the family knows that the hospital have done their very best to try to save their loved ones. But unfortunately and tragically, sometimes despite our best efforts, we just can't save people. But from that tragedy, we're able to do so much good through this process of organ donation. And our Alabama Organ Center has done a great job throughout the years, and they continue to try to find different ways that we can help as many people as possible.
I'm an organ donor because it's the gift of life.
I'm an organ donor because I cherish life.
Being an organ donor can turn something tragic into something wonderful.
I'm Nick Saban, and I'm an organ donor.
I'm an organ donor because my decision makes a difference.
I'm an organ donor because organ donation means the gift of life.
I'm an organ donor.
I'm an organ donor.
I'm an organ donor.
I am an organ donor because my decision makes a difference.
I am an organ donor because the need is greater than ever.
Because I know that a donation can save a life.
I'm an organ donor because my decision has made a difference.
I'm an organ donor because donation saves lives.
Because donations save lives.
Because donation saves lives.
Because donations save lives.
I'm an organ donor because heaven knows we need them more down here.
I am an organ donor.
I'm an organ donor.
I am an organ donor.
I'm an organ donor because it's all about giving.
I'm an organ donor because I know my decision makes a difference.
I'm an organ donor because life is beautiful.